Getting a lot of suggestions today, and I suppose when you look at these things seriously, they're an indicator how we as a society actually change.
That's right. It's quite interesting that a lot of the new words are actually words for new things. For example, paywall, and that's a restriction on a website that stops you reading the site for free, rather like the Times has done recently.
If you put 2,000 new words in,
yes.
Do you take words out that are sort of redundant now?
People always ask this. It's very difficult to take words out because even if they stop being the word of the moment, people still remember them.
Yes, or they're in texts or something that you have to have as reference.
Exactly.
Well, I wanted to ask, actually, you know, how often does a word have to be used for it to get into the dictionary? There are a lot of words that, you know, people might think are already in there, but what's your criteria for that?
We used to have very firm, fixed rules about how often a word had to be found or used. But these days, things happen so quickly, you can't really do that. For example, staycation is just going in the dictionary this time, and it doesn't feel like a new word anymore, even though it's only been around for about 5 years. It feels so familiar, it's got established so fast.
Angus, do you have favourites that have emerged there, words that are new on the horizon?
We were very pleased to discover that dictionary attack is a word or term. It's a computer hacker's technique of using an online dictionary to try and crack your password.
Oh, yeah, interesting. Imagine playing Scrabble with this man. You wouldn't stand a chance. And when you sit in the office, do you have big debates and big rows about that should be or that shouldn't be or that counts and that doesn't count?
It's not as much of our job as you might expect, but yeah, we do discuss it. We do have meetings and people argue for particular words.
Yes.
We generally agree in the end.
Do you know, there's some words used around this office that that I haven't seen in your dictionary, but we probably couldn't say them. But anyway, thank you very much indeed. That's Angus Stevenson. He is the editor of the Oxford Dictionary. Thank you very much indeed. 2,000 new words. What about that? Now, in the news today, a Catholic adoption service could close down. I'm going to talk showbiz stories in the papers now, and we're also going to be previewing X Factor, which comes back at the weekend with celebrity writer Mr. Tony Cowell. Very nice to see you, Tony.
Good morning.
Tony, it's been a torrid couple of weeks for Abby Clancy. She's all over the front pages of the papers. She some of her TV commitments she keeps, some she doesn't at the moment. What do you make of all this?
I don't know. It's certainly been a year of the cheaters, hasn't it, this year? But well, apparently in this story that she has agreed to go back with Peter and allow him back into the bedroom, so to speak. But should she? I don't know.
Wasn't it all done to just get loads of publicity, you know, do the walkout, get lots of photographs,
Jackie,
get lots of headlines, and then go back?
I've never thought of you as being cynical at all, but I think you're right. I remember some pics a couple of weeks ago of them, or a month ago, when they were on holiday and stuff, and they didn't know that the photographers were there, the paps were there, and they looked very touchy-feely. They looked as if they were very happy. So I think they genuinely, she's thinking, let's give him another chance, because it's worth it.
Because they are, and they're
I
don't think so.
After all, isn't he? So
well,
she must expect, from a certain degree, they get, you know, women throwing themselves at them left, right, and centre.
Yeah. But they've been targets, the footballers, to be honest with you, ever since the Chelsea guy.
But sorry, he wasn't a target of a prostitute.
Well, no, no, it's not. But he's caught out. That's it. But what I'm saying is, they're targets. These footballers, they're in the public eye just like any other celebrity. And they've got to, if they're going to play that game, they're going to get caught.
Yeah. They get swept along with that whole footballery different.
Yeah,
Tony, it's often said about the girlfriends of footballers that, you know, they stay in there for the money and the fame and all that sort of thing. But in Abby Clancy's case, do you think she's big enough, independent enough to go it alone?
I think she is. I think in the last year she's grown enormously. And I have met her briefly once, and I think she's a nice girl. I really do. And I think she genuinely should work in this business. Yeah. I do. Elvis's daughter, Lisa Marie, she's going to live where? Tunbridge Wells. Now, of course, Simon, you know, even you remember that Elvis never appeared in the UK at all. He never got here, but his daughter's going to get here.
Well, he did. He landed in Prestwick, didn't he?
Oh,
he changed planes in Prestwick.
Well remembered.
Yeah.
But,
2 points.
Were you there?
Yes. He was there. But, no, it's... she's coming... Of course, she's a member of this Scientology cult thing, and she's allegedly moving to a big mansion, which is just round the corner from there. So it's great to have a Presley here, is it not?
And Tunbridge Wells is very, very nice.
It's lovely.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. If I had a choice between California and Tunbridge Wells, I might go California.
No,
no,
Tunbridge Wells is gorgeous.
Is very nice. X Factor back this weekend. Certainly all the kids are waiting for it. Are you looking forward to coming back, Lucy?
Well,
seems to me that Christmas is on its way in. I was talking to Charlotte about it in makeup just a couple of days ago, because it's the countdown to the Christmas #1, isn't it?
Well, that's right. I mean,
We're
it's
going
such a
into autumn
long
and
run,
winter.
the X Factor. I mean, it's from this Saturday right through to the middle of December. And then, so it starts off in, well, sort of sunshine, it ends up in snow.
And these early ones are the great ones, aren't they?
Well,
With
look, I think everyone loves the audition shows, don't they? Do you?
Yes, yes.
I mean, I do. It's all the madness, it's the fun factor, as we call it. But
Cheryl hasn't been involved in those, obviously, because of the malaria.
she only did the London audition, you will see, and that's after that, and then she got ill. So, and the rest, you know, is history, that with the guest judges, which we all can't wait to see.
Who are those guest judges?
It's a good point. Who
Pixie
are they?
Lott is one of them.
Pixie Lott.
Jerry
and,
Halliwell?
Jerry Halliwell, Natalie Imbruglia. Yes.
Bruglia,
And
yeah,
Rose
she was
Bruglia.
there, wasn't she?
And there's another one missing. But yeah, I think these. It's a hard job to do that. I think I've said this before, to guest on that show. I mean, I really think.
Well, I'll tell you what your brother is missing, he's missing a trick. Mrs. Beltrao would be the best judge that you could get
She'd
on.
tell it like
Yeah, I think she'd make a
No,
great
I would
grumpy judge. Actually.
Yeah, I would.
Seriously.
I would. I wouldn't be nice. Then, you know, Simon and I would clash.
Yeah, well, I'll have a word with him.
It cost me a lot of money, X Factor, actually, with 3 children
really?
all voting for different people.
Oh,
I
I
have to have a
see,
separate
I see.
savings account just for the X Factor run.
Just
I do.
to do that. And then the success stories. There is just 2 days to go now before X Factor, but featured in one of the papers today is Ollie Muirs in The Sun, and he's enjoyed his time.
He has. Well, Ollie, I really liked Ollie, I must admit, and Simon decided to sign him to the record company because, and quite rightly, I think, because I think he's very today, Ollie. I think he's very contemporary, and I think he's going to be quite successful, without question. So, and a nice guy, not up himself, so to speak. Really, really nice guy backstage.
Lovely. People are opening up their A-level results today and whatever. So many kids just want to take the shortcut. They want to do the X Factor route and all that sort of thing. Did you go to university, Tony?
Well, I don't know how to spell the word, actually. I know, to be honest with you. My brother didn't go to... None of us went to university. We all got chucked out of school about 17 or 18.
Right, so it's the person, it's the drive rather than the qualification in your book.
Yes, totally, without question.
OK. New words for the dictionary, Charlotte.
Yeah, Jay Tennant has suggested one. He says schlep. That's probably already in there, though, I
Schlep.
reckon. Yeah.
Not Shrek.
Schlep. John Bennett says, what about splut? He says when you split something, then it's splut, isn't it? So he is creating a word
I think
that
that's
he
just bad grammar, isn't
thinks
it?
should be
Right.
in there. But there are some words that you think should be in there, aren't there? A lot of people talking about this sort of multimedia thing, how we all spend most of our time doing 2 things at once with our technology. Stephen Hart says he's watching Sky News, he's checking out Facebook and Twitter and eating his Frosties. He's very proud of his multitasking this morning. Wisdom in Zambia says he's watching Sky News, sending us an email, checking out Facebook, researching for his degree and listening to some music on the internet. But Simon says, get off all your gadgets and rejoin the real world. He says it's sad and rude.
Well, there can be a rudeness element to it all, I think.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to think
Or
about the
a lack
manners
of
as well as
communication.
that.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to talk to someone and
Not
they're
having
doing something
conversation.
else
Just
because
used
they're
to
zoned,
typing
they're
all the
zoned
time.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you a gadget man, Tony?
Not at all, no. I mean, I had to sort of come to grips with all this high tech. Simon has even more trouble with it because he hates computers.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't need to. He'll just have
Well,
people doing it for
yeah.
him.
Well, he just
won't
reads the printouts,
Yes,
that's all.
yes. Jacqueline, on the sports front, what's happening?
Well, I wanted to see, has mononucleosis made it into the dictionary? No, this is a disease that tennis players get. And it seems to be only tennis players, and they all get it at
what
some
is
point. It's like a tiredness, you know, sort of one of those diseases
I
where you
have that.
can't do anything.
No, I have that. I definitely
and it's like
have
a
that.
virus. But, you know, Federer had it 2 years ago, and Andy Roddick's got it right now.
Mononucle-
Mono, they just call it mono.
Mononucleosis.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
had
never
that
heard of
for
it.
years, definitely.
You've had it for years.
Definitely. As a matter of fact, I feel like going for a lie down now, so hurry up and do that.
I know.
Sports
England,
headline.
they don't have it, and they're looking for early Pakistan wickets this morning on day 2 at the Oval. Pakistan.
Jacqueline, I have consulted my dictionary here. Mononucleosis is
Yes.
actually glandular fever.
Ah.
And glandular fever is also known as the kissing disease, which is probably why you haven't heard of it.
Or ever had it.
Or ever had it. Indeed, indeed. Don't worry
You
about
really
that.
go off people, can't you?
Lucy, what way is that weather picture looking out there today?
A mixed bag is the only way I can describe today's weather. Sunshine and showers in the north, outbreaks of rain in the south, just in time for the latter stages of day 2 of the 3rd test down at the Oval.
And that is your sunrise on this Thursday morning. Thank you for watching. Very busy programme this morning with all the tweets and the emails. We'll say goodbye to you. Taking up the reins, Colin Brazier with the live desk after this, including those all-important A-level results.